So it's Friday the 27th of October. It's been a few days since I was last here. In fact, it's been a week. But in that time, for those of you who have spotted these things, I've filled a skip. Now this, on the Friday, was the day of the worst of Storm Babette. On the good news, I've got my first ever piece of official mail to this place, which has come from the conveyancing company that dealt with the sale. The downside is the priorities have very much been emphasised in terms of making this place waterproof, because we've got this window here which water's coming in. You can see where there's cracking there. It's long standing, this. It needs dealing with. I've contacted a chap and I'm hoping he's going to take the job on. It's been a bit of a slow dance by both of us to get to this point, but we'll see. The other major leak that we've got is just here, and you can see, just before we get to the transept, you can see here where the water has come down from up there. Now, there's going to be a few ways to handle that, and some of which are going to be expensive. But I'm half wondering, because I need to introduce insulation, whether the best way forward will be to actually get this entire section aisle re-roofed, because that'll then have a membrane on, and then I can have an air gap and then put boarded insulation in between, insulated plasterboard in between whilst yet still have the beams showing, rather than just blanking them all off completely, which means you start to lose the character. These are some of the things that actually need to be addressed by building control. The other leak, in fact I think that might be relatively new, on the floor there, is coming from up there, which is the other side of the nave. Now, they've done that side by the look of it. Well, that's looking a bit interesting, just there. So that might need not quite sure what's going on up there, to be quite honest with you, but we shall see. And the other leak, before we get to the main problem, is, I won't bother, but this corridor takes us through to the bottom of the tower, up the spiral staircases, which you've seen from the previous episode. And basically the top of the tower is leaking like it's a water feature. So what I want to get done today is to make a start on taking down this panelling. I'll do it carefully. That stuff there is just hardboard, and that'll come out really easily. Basically opening it up, let some light through, and then we can consider how we're going to deal with the longer term here, because this door isn't all that. And again, more of that hardboard stuff there. So, not much to get overexcited about. So that's going to be today's tasks, or the start of. My main problem is that my back's a little bit unhappy at present. So I am not going to be going at this full tilt. So let's see how we go on. So the priority is to get this place watertight one way or another. Now there is the emphasis in doing this job of getting it right and doing it right. So consideration has to be given to that, which of course affects budgets, because goodness me, I think this is going to cost a few quid to do. That was what we were facing up previously, which has been repaired, and it is dry, but they haven't particularly by the look of it, done much with regard. I think they've addressed the flashing, to be quite honest with you, to deal with that. But again, it would be nice to be able to get it re-roofed so that we can have a membrane there, because the plaster, the internal plaster here, is the old lats, latten plaster, and the lats are basically tacked onto the battens that the slates, the tiles are pinned onto, which doesn't really give you anywhere to hide in terms of when leaks do appear, because there's no membrane. But also, as far as insulation is concerned, you've only got the insulation value of the plasterboard itself, or plaster and the lats themselves, which is going to be not great. Because as I'm standing here, it's, well, where are we? Back end of October. It's not a bad day outside, but it's pretty cool inside here. So there we go. Some progress made. Long, long way to go.